The starlit and counter-sentinel Fiona Winters adjusted the environmental controls on Heliocenine, the remote outpost where she'd spent the last 3 years studying exobiology at the edge of charted space. The facility orbited a gas giant whose swirling storms cast an eerie glow through the observation dome. Most scientists couldn't handle the isolation, but Fiona found peace in the stars. Proximity alert announced the station AI. Unknown vessel approaching on erratic trajectory. Fiona frowned at the monitor. No scheduled arrivals for months. Origin? Unknown. Design doesn't match any registered craft. Her heart quickened as she tracked the vessel's path. It wasn't just approaching, it was crashing. The ship breached the station's defensive perimeter, skimming the upper atmosphere of the gas giant before impacting against Helios 9's secondary. Docking bay with a shudder that rattled the entire station. Protocol demanded she alert Earth Command, but curiosity drove her to the airlock first. Weapon drawn, she cycled through the chamber and approached the smoking craft. Its hull appeared to absorb light rather than reflect it, the surface rippling like liquid obsidian. The vessel's hatch opened with a hiss of escaping atmosphere. A figure stumbled out, collapsing at Fiona's feet. Not human, but humanoid. Alabaster skin with a subtle luminescence, features too perfectly angular to be earthborn. Silver hair framed a face that might have been carved from marble. The being looked up, revealing iridescent violet eyes that shifted like nebulae. "Help," the alien whispered in perfect English. Voice melodic, despite its obvious distress. "They're coming." Fiona hesitated only a moment before holstering her weapon. "Who's coming?" "Who are you?" "Vesper," the alien replied, attempting to stand but failing. "Last navigator of the Twilight Seekers. My people. Hunted to extinction." Fiona helped Vesper to the medical bay, noting how light the alien felt despite being nearly 7 feet tall. Scans revealed a physiology unlike anything in the database. No recognizable digestive system, an enhanced circulatory network, cellular structures that seemed to shimmer with their own energy. "You're dying," Fiona observed, reading the biomonitors. "Your cells are breaking down." Vesper's eyes fluttered. "Need... sustenance. What kind?" "We have synthetic protein, nutrient solutions, not that." Vesper turned away, shame evident. "My kind requires... essence, life force. What you would call blood?" Fiona stepped back involuntarily. "You're a vampire?" Vesper's laugh was hollow. A simplification, but not entirely incorrect. "We consume life energy. Without it, we wither." "And what was hunting you?" "The Void Collective. They discovered our ability to channel consumed energy. They want to weaponize us." Vesper's voice dropped. "The hunger in us could end worlds if harnessed improperly. That's why I fled. Why I sought help beyond our star system." Fiona stared at the dying alien, ethical dilemmas racing through her mind. A blood-drinking extraterrestrial sought sanctuary, claiming to be pursued by forces that wanted to turn its kind into weapons. Every protocol screamed for caution, yet something in those violet eyes spoke of honesty, of desperation. And Fiona hadn't spent years studying alien life to turn away from the most significant discovery in human history. "Rest," she decided. "We'll figure this out." As Vesper drifted into unconsciousness, the station sensors detected unusual energy signatures at the edge of the system. Something was coming. Blood Bond 3. Days later, Vesper's condition deteriorated rapidly. The alien's luminous skin had dulled to ashen gray, and the biomonitors registered failing cellular cohesion. Fiona had tried everything: synthetic proteins, plasma substitutes, nutrient injections, all rejected. "The substitutes aren't working," Fiona muttered, reviewing test results while Vesper watched with increasingly unfocused eyes. "Your physiology requires something our science can't synthesize." "I warned you," Vesper whispered. "You should jettison me before they arrive. The Void Collective won't distinguish between us once they track me here." Long-range scanners had detected 3 vessels approaching black crystalline. Structures similar to Vesper's ship but larger, more ominous. Fiona estimated they would reach Helios 9 within 48 hours. How much would you need? Fiona asked abruptly. To recover? Vesper's violet eyes widened. You can't possibly, I'm a scientist. Answer the question. A pint would sustain me temporarily. But there are consequences you don't understand. When we feed directly, a connection forms. Memories transfer. Emotions bleed through. Fiona rolled up her sleeve. Then we'll both learn something new. If I lose control, ... Vesper warned. Then don't. The first contact of Vesper's cool lips against Fiona's wrist sent electricity through her body. The initial sharp pain quickly faded into an unexpected warmth that spread upward. Her vision blurred. And suddenly she wasn't just standing in the medical bench, she was experiencing Vesper's memories. A crystalline city suspended among violet clouds. Thousands of beings like Vesper, living alongside humanoid species in harmony. Then darkness descending as black ships appeared, corrupted versions of Vesper's people leading the assault. The desperate plan to seek help from other civilizations, just as the visions threatened to overwhelm her. The connection broke. Fiona gasped, steadying herself against the examination table. Vesper stood transformed, kin glowing with renewed vitality, eyes blazing like twin stars. I'm sorry, Vesper said, reaching toward Fiona, then pulling back. I didn't intend to share so much. Those ships, Fiona whispered. They're coming here, aren't they? To find you. Vesper nodded. The Void Collective consumes worlds. They discovered that properly nourished, my kind can channel energy on a cosmic scale. They corrupted some of us, turning them into living weapons. Fiona felt lightheaded but stronger than expected. The connection had apparently benefited both parties. Why did you come to humans specifically? She asked. Vesper's expression softened. Legends spoke of Earth species. Your adaptability, resilience, how you face impossible odds with determination rather than surrender. Their eyes locked, and something unspoken passed between them. Recognition, understanding deeper than words. The blood connection had created something neither had anticipated, a bridge between vastly different beings. We need to prepare, Fiona said, breaking the moment. If your memories are accurate, Helios 9 can't withstand their weapons. Vesper's hand finally reached out, cool fingers intertwining with Fiona's warm ones. With proper sustenance, I might be able to shield this station. But it would require more than a single feeding. Then we'd better schedule regular donations, Fiona replied with unexpected determination. Starting tomorrow. That night, unable to sleep, Fiona found Vesper watching the stars through the observation dome. Without words, they stood side by side, two beings from different worlds, connected by blood in the approaching darkness. The pursuing shadow, the enemy fleet, appeared on the horizon like obsidian teardrops against the gas giant's swirling storms. Fiona watched them through Helios 9's main viewport, her hand unconsciously finding Vesper's. A week of blood exchanges had created a bond neither had anticipated, an intertwining of consciousness that left whispers of each other's thoughts, lingering in their minds. 3 vessels. Just as you predicted, Fiona noted, studying the tactical display. They're holding position at the system's edge. Scanning for me, Vesper explained, the alien's voice stronger now, a melodic tone sending pleasant vibrations through Fiona's chest. My kind emits a unique energy signature when properly nourished. And you're definitely nourished, Fiona observed, noting the radiant glow beneath Vesper's alabaster skin. Each feeding had intensified the luminescence. Until now, Vesper seemed to shimmer from within. Casting soft light across darkened corridors, the station's communication system crackled with unexpected interference. A voice emerged similar to Vesper's harmonic tones, but distorted, hollow. Navigator Vesper of the Twilight Seekers, it intoned. Surrender yourself to the collective. Your vessel has been tracked, your transgressions recorded. Vesper moved to the console, eyes flashing with an emotion Fiona now recognized as righteous anger. Commander Nix, still serving as the collective's puppet. We have evolved beyond service. We have embraced our true purpose. You've embraced corruption, Vesper countered. Our gift was meant to preserve life, not consume it. The communication cut abruptly. Vesper turned to Fiona, expression grave. They'll attack within 12 hours. The station's shields won't hold. Out. That evening, they retreated to Fiona's quarters to discuss strategy. But conversation gave way to silence, then tentative touches. The blood bond had created more than mental connection. It had sparked physical awareness that grew with each feeding. I can feel your heartbeat from across the room, Vesper confessed. Fingertips tracing the pulse point at Fiona's throat. It calls to me. Fiona should have been frightened, but fear had transformed into something else entirely. Is it just the hunger that draws you? At first, perhaps. Vesper's luminous eyes softened. Now it's something more. Something I've never experienced with any being. Their first kiss tasted of copper and stardust. Vesper's skin radiated cool light against Fiona's warmth, opposites attracting with inevitable gravity. Clothes fell away as they explored alien terrain. Vesper's body marked with constellations of luminous patterns. Fiona's with the familiar freckles and scars of human life. You're beautiful, Vesper whispered against Fiona's skin. Your fragility, your strength, contradictions that shouldn't coexist, but somehow do. Their joining was gentle at first, then urgent as the threat of tomorrow loomed. When Vesper's teeth grazed Fiona's shoulder, she arched upward in invitation rather than fear. The blood exchange during intimacy created a feedback loop of sensation, blurring boundaries until neither could tell where one ended and the other began. Afterward, tangled in shared warmth, Fiona traced the glowing patterns across Vesper's chest. If we survive tomorrow, what happens to us? If properly nourished, I could potentially defeat them, Vesper said, avoiding the deeper question. But it would require more than I've taken so far. How much more? Vesper's expression grew troubled. Too much. The risk to you? Let me decide what risks I'm willing to take, Fiona interrupted. Tell me what you need to stop them. As Vesper explained what would be required, the enemy ships moved closer, black silhouettes blotting out the stars one by one. Sacrifice and Surrender Dawn brought the first assault. The Void Collective ships launched energy pulses that rippled against Helios 9's shields, each impact weakening the station's defenses. Fiona worked frantically at the command console, rerouting power while Vesper stood at the viewport, vibrating with barely contained energy. Shields at 30% reported the station AI, structural failure imminent in designated sectors. Fiona wiped sweat from her brow. We need more time. Time won't save us, Vesper said quietly. Only power can. The kind they possess, and the kind I could channel if properly fed. They had discussed the possibility through the night. A final, complete exchange, one that would push the limits of human physiology. Dangerous for Fiona, potentially transformative for Vesper. We've been over this, Fiona said, abandoning the console as another impact rocked the station. I've calculated the maximum safe extraction. With medical countermeasures, I'll recover. Vesper's expression darkened. You don't understand. When fully nourished, my kind undergoes metamorphosis. I would become something else entirely, something that could stand against them, but also something that might frighten you. More frightening than those ships tearing apart this station? Fiona gestured toward the viewport where the black vessels had begun coordinated attack patterns. The decision was made in silence. They retreated to the medical bay, where Fiona had prepared transfusion equipment and regenerative stimulants. As she reclined on the examination table, she caught Vesper's hesitation. Second thoughts? She asked. Not about defeating them, Vesper replied, moving closer. About what you'll see me become? Fiona reached up, pulling Vesper down until their foreheads touched. I've been inside your mind. You've been inside mine. Whatever you become, I'll recognize you. Their lips met in a kiss that tasted of goodbye and promise intermingled. When Vesper's mouth traveled to Fiona's neck, she closed her eyes, surrendering to the now familiar sensation of giving herself over to the alien's hunger. This exchange was different, deeper. Vesper drew strength while simultaneously feeding energy back through their connection, creating a circuit of shared power. Fiona's consciousness expanded beyond the confines of her body. Experiencing Vesper's transformation from the inside, light erupted from Vesper's form as the feeding reached its climax. so bright that Fiona had to shield her eyes. When she could see again, Vesper stood transformed taller, more radiant. With wings of pure energy extending from sculpted shoulders, Vesper's eyes had become pools of violet fire, ancient and terrible and beautiful. "Are you afraid?" Vesper asked, voice resonating with newfound power. Despite her weakened state, Fiona smiled, terrified and amazed. Another explosion rocked the station. "Shields failing," announced the AI. "Hull breach detected in sectors 7 through 9. Vesper moved toward the airlock, energy wings trailing streams of light. "Stay here. Recover your strength. And if you don't come back?" Fiona asked, fighting against the medication-induced drowsiness. Vesper turned, alien features softening with an emotion that transcended species. "Then know that you gave me purpose beyond survival. You showed me that connection, not consumption's true power." As Vesper disappeared through the airlock, Fiona drifted into unconsciousness, their shared blood carrying dreams of crystalline cities and stars consumed by darkness. Darkness vanquished Fiona, awakened to silence. The medical equipment beeped steadily, indicating her vital signs had stabilized. Through the viewport, she could see nothing but the swirling storms of the gas giant and no black ships. No battles raging in the void. "Station status," she croaked, throat dry from hours of unconsciousness. "Shields restored to 60%, the AI responded. "Structural repairs underway in damaged sectors." Unknown energy barrier detected surrounding the station. Fiona pushed herself upright, muscles protesting. And the enemy vessels? 2 destroyed. 1 retreating beyond scanner range. Hope and fear battled in her chest. "Vesper?" Lifeform detected outside the station. Biometric signature. ... evolving. Using every ounce of strength, Fiona made her way to the observation dome. The sight that greeted her stole what little breath she had recovered. Vesper hovered in space, without environmental protection, surrounded by a cocoon of violet energy. The transformation had progressed beyond what Fiona had witnessed in the medical bay. Vesper now resembled a being of pure light, with only the suggestion of humanoid form. Energy wings spanning wider than the station itself. As if sensing Fiona's presence, Vesper turned toward the station. Through their blood bond, thoughts flowed freely. "I defeated them. 2 destroyed. 1 fled to warn others." Fiona pressed her palm against the viewport. "Can you come back?" Hesitation rippled through their connection. "Not as I was. The metamorphosis is irreversible." Grief tightened Fiona's throat. After everything, to lose Vesper to transformation seemed a cruelty neither deserved, but not permanent. Came Vesper's reply to her unspoken anguish. "I can condense this energy, channel it, return to physical form, though changed." The radiant being approached the station, passing through the shields as if they were mist. Energy coalesced in the center of the observation dome, contracting, intensifying, until with a flash that momentarily blinded Fiona, Vesper stood before her. The alien retained a humanoid shape, but now stood 8 feet tall, skin translucent with constellations of light pulsing beneath. The violet eyes remained, though they now held galaxies within their depths. "You're still you," Fiona whispered, reaching out tentatively. "More than I was," Vesper confirmed, taking her hand. Where their skin touched, pleasant warmth radiated rather than the former cool sensation. "Your blood carried your essence, your compassion, your courage. It tempered the transformation. The collective will return eventually, with greater numbers." Vesper's expression grew solemn. "Your station has been marked. Earth will become a target." Fiona nodded, having expected this. "Then we warn them. Prepare them." "We." She smiled, squeezing Vesper's luminous hand. "Did you think I'd let you face this alone? Besides, Earth scientists will need to study. Your transformation could help us understand cosmic energy manipulation in ways our physics never imagined." Vesper's answering smile illuminated the room. "And us? This connection between us?" "Evolving," Fiona replied simply. "Like you." They stood together, watching as the gas giant storms swirled beneath them, violet and gold intermingling in chaotic beauty. Whatever came next whether diplomatic missions too,
At her first.
or battles against returning collective forces, they would face it united. Bound by blood, freely given, and trust hard won, Fiona leaned against Vesper's radiant form. Feeling the energy that could have ended worlds now channeled to protect one, her hunger could have consumed everything. But a human's kindness had stopped the darkness, proving, once again, that sometimes the most powerful weapon in the universe was not destruction, but connection.